Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's podcast. Took a little break last week for obvious reasons. Everything that was going on in our world and in our nation. Was trying to change the world on the ground there, and so we had to take a break from the cyber world. But I'm back. So hello. Did you miss my voice? I know you did. So I want to talk about chaos today. Specifically, chaos as a catalyst for self-improvement, right? So let's get right into it. Chaos is the basis of life, right? It is the world in which we live. It is chaotic. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Beauty arises out of chaos. The earth, our solar system, was formed out of chaos. Your body is chaotic, right? All of the systems that are functioning at the same time. Your cells are vibrating chaotically, right? At the molecular level and at the quantum level. So storms are chaos. It's a part of life, and they are not necessarily negative things. They're life, right? Chaos is life. And it actually, without chaos, there would be no life, right? Because that's how cells work, and that's how our universe works. So I just wanted to say that right off. And given that craziness, the craziness of the world, and specifically the society in which we live, it seems to be pervasive, right? It seems to be pervasive, but that's okay, because now you know that we need chaos, right, in order to live, to thrive, to survive on this planet, in this universe. But on a more practical scale, right, day-to-day chaos, drama, things that happen in our personal lives and in our government and our society, it's not always easy to remember the macro of it, right? When you are mired knee-deep in uncertainty and political upheaval, let's say, then it can be hard to remember, like, oh, all of my cells are chaotic, and the nature of the universe is chaotic, so, oh, this is fun, right? Just ride the wave, which you should, but I understand we live in a world that seems very real, which means that this perception can lead to feelings of uncertainty, depression, angst, anxiety, etc., right? All of this is valid and should not be dismissed, but we should use these things to transmute, right? We should transmute these quote-unquote negative emotions into positive energy, right? That propels us forward. That is the whole point of chaos. That is why it arises in our lives. So, seemingly chaotic and uncertain situations can and should be used to aid in your evolution. Point blank, period, done, end of podcast. No, not for real. But that's all. That's why chaos arises. That's why uncertainty arises. Everything is for your evolution, baby. That's all. It's for you. It's all for you. You just don't realize it yet. So, as an example, again, I go back to science, right? Evolution of a species is not optional. So when we read about it in these books, it sounds like one day, single-celled organisms just decide, like, you know what, man? I think I want another cell. Like, this life of just having one cell, like, this ain't really for me. Like, I want to be more complex, I want to be deeper, have more character, more depth. And they just decided that they would be complex and they would evolve. Like, okay, you know what? Tomorrow, I ain't even gonna wake up single celled. I'm gonna have 2 cells, right? Like, that didn't happen that way, right? It was not an option. Species evolve in science out of necessity, right? It is literally life or death. It happens when an organism realizes that their current way of life no longer sustains them, right? They can't keep going as they are, or else they will die. So that's why, if you believe in evolution, right, we came out of the water, and then, mammals learned to walk, and they decided to stay on dry land. Now, maybe we'll talk about this later, but some went back, right? Dolphins went back, and that's a whole nother story for another podcast. But organisms that have now developed legs and have developed more eyes, or all of these different capabilities, that happened because they had to, right? They were getting rid of, they were escaping predators, right? That's usually number one thing. Or it helped them to better able to spot their own prey, or it helped them with reproduction. Three main reasons why species evolve. Now, of course, we're complex creatures, we're humans, so our evolution of that we speak of, not our physical evolution, occurs as a result of our need to grow spiritually, right? And emotionally and mentally. It's not an option, right? It's not an option. So the chaos that we endure comes to push us to grow in those other areas, right? So it's another example. Humans no longer walk hunched over, right? We used to walk hunched over, right? We used to walk on all fours. We found that, time demonstrated to us an experience in life, hint, hint, that it was more advantageous for hunting to walk erect, right? We could see our enemies better, right? We could hunt better. It made it advantageous for us to be able to hunt on land, in trees, hunt birds in the sky, right? You could see what's coming. So that wasn't a decision or a preference, right? Like all evolution, it was absolutely mandatory. If we didn't evolve to do that, we would die. The species would die out. Now, second part about evolution is that it occurs over a period of time, right? It took thousands of years for us to come to where we are now, right? To walk upright, to have a smaller cranial cavity, so that we're using less energy, and we don't just need to eat and sleep all day because our brains are too big and we just have to power the battery, the computer. But yes, to get where we are, and we're still evolving. It was also a very messy process, right? So some humans, in their evolution, their physical evolution, they died along the way. They either didn't evolve, or maybe they evolved in a different way that was not advantageous for the survival of the species, right? That happens. We don't talk about that in science class, but it happens. We just see the end result. We don't see all the people who maybe they said, so it's beneficial for us to have two eyes. Ooh, maybe let's develop three, right? And that didn't work out so well. It's too much of a drain on our brains. It required too much energy. Or let's develop an eye on the backs of our head so we can see our enemies again. But it didn't work out. You don't hear about those things in science class. You hear about, and we're taught the beginning, and then ta-da, and this is how we are now. They also don't tell you that we're still evolving, which I have a problem with, science teachers. But yes, so it was messy, and the third point is that it's painful. So again, evolution is painful. It wasn't fun. All of the species that have evolved, specifically humans, they can tell you, like, it wasn't a fun process. It wasn't a quick process. It wasn't a clean process. And it definitely wasn't painless, right? Evolving is painful. Evolution is painful. The nature of becoming something different, like a metamorphosis or a transformation, it hurts. Like, if it hurts for us to evolve physically, then why do we think that it shouldn't hurt when we have to evolve mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? On a societal level. That hurts, right? It's painful. The pain means it's working. Like the Listerine commercial, right? The burn means it's working. But yes, so we cannot fool ourselves into thinking that there will not be at least some level of pain as we move to a higher level of consciousness. That's how we make mistakes. We learn what works and what doesn't work. And that's how we move to the next level, right? We cannot avoid pain. We cannot allow fear, or our fear in and of itself, or fear of pain, or fear of the unknown, to keep us from becoming the greatest versions of ourselves on both the micro level as well as the macro level, right? Societal level, on a world level. It's going to hurt. It is painful, right? So every species today that breathes oxygen does so because they were forced to, right? They were forced to. Remember, we all started in the water. The earth was covered with water. And as our planet became more rich in oxygen, right, and less bountiful in carbon dioxide and noxious gases, because that's all there was at first, we evolved. There was less and less of what we needed, and there was more oxygen in the atmosphere. So that's what propelled us to leave the water in the first place. Like, ooh, this it's getting scarce here. So, ooh, there's more oxygen in the atmosphere. Why don't we leave this water, right? That in and of itself is a tough decision. To leave your comfort zone, to leave that which you have known for your entire life and your entire species. This is all we ever knew. We swam, right? So for some members of that species to say, like, we gotta leave the water, right? We may dry out. We don't know. We may blow up. We don't know what would happen or what will happen, but we just know that this situation that we're in currently, we know that we're gonna die. This is certain death. Whereas leaving the water, maybe sink or swim, right? All pun intended. All right, so to bring it back to the emotional evolution of humans, right? As we perceive things that are the opposite of our ideals, it is a call to be and to model the behavior that we do want, right? So in evolving, you see, let's say, for example, you see somebody who is in the process of evolving and you don't like the way that it worked out for them. So maybe, like I said, somebody grew an extra leg, right? They evolved and that was their thing. And you see that they are having some trouble walking and getting around, and you're like, not going to take that route of evolution, right? So you choose your own path, right? You see the parallels between physical evolution and spiritual evolution, societal evolution? That's the point, right? We have to be what we want to see and not focus our energy on the things that we don't want, right? Use the chaos to help us become the best versions of ourselves, not just complain about circumstances not being ideal, right? Because that doesn't change anything. Walking into a dark room, it only makes sense to look for light, illuminate it, right? Or be the light. Complaining about, what is or what isn't and how dark it is will not help solve your problems. You'll probably get eaten, right? I don't know, from an evolutionary standpoint. All right, so giving energy to things that we don't like only strengthens them, right, and creates more of them, as per the law of attraction. Doesn't help or change a thing. So this is a call to action. Think of bad things in your past, right? Everything horrible that's ever been done to you. And resolve not to subject anyone else to the things that you've experienced, right? That's how we make the world better. That's it. That's how we transform chaos into self-improvement, into light, into love, happiness, passion, right? That's how we do it. Also, observe unwanted characteristics and decide to be the opposite, right? If somebody has a character trait which you perceive as negative, resolve not to be that way. Instead of talking down on them or giving it more energy and, wishing on stars, I really wish that this person would be less of this and more of this. You can just take matters into your own hands and be more of what you do want to see, right? Do not spread any more of that unwanted trait into the world. that's how we change, right? That's how we change ourselves and society and our countries and our governments and ultimately our planet, right? We shine our light and we help others to shine theirs and we illuminate the darkness. We don't deride the darkness, right? We don't just complain about it. So, to wrap this up, I would just like to say, be the change that you wish to see. Literally, be it and evolve. Take it to the next level. It's time for all of us as a human race to take this human existence to a whole nother level. And it's happening right now, actually. It's happening tonight. It's happening tonight. Because you know why? It's the supermoon tonight. So now is your chance, right? Now is your moment to shine brightly. All right, thank you for listening. I hope you have a great night, a great week. Go watch the supermoon, wish on stars. Love, light, peace, happiness, passion, baby. See you later. Goodbye.